What's up, guys? How we doing? Hey, so now, thanks to my buddy John, not the security guard John, but my buddy John hit me up and said, dude, why don't you do interviews? I'm like, this is always a pain in the ass, and I slack, and it's got to line it up, set up the Zoom, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm going to start doing Wednesday interviews. Started this Wednesday. I got Bobby Piazza, for the people, Bobby Piazza, the one who got into trouble for revving his bike and stood up to Feld, and he's trying to make a dream out of this thing, but man, I did not know Bobby doesn't even get to practice. He doesn't even get to practice Supercross. Shows up, races, puts it in the top 40. That's amazing. Like the amount of talent this kid has. I mean, he raced with RJ Hampshire. He smoked these guys as a kid. But I talked to him off air afterward for quite a bit. I think we're going to try and put something together for him. So look for that in the future. Bobby's 27. He's got another run in him to see if he can make it to be a main event guy and see where he can go with this thing, maybe get a World Supercross ride. But yeah, Bobby's a cool dude. His girlfriend his girlfriend Morgan, I think her Instagram's Morgan Page. But anyway, they travel the world, travel the states in their van with their dog, just living the dream. But it's been tough on him. I mean, he's been delivering pizzas and then racing dirt bikes, and it's a great little interview. So check it out and look for interviews dropping on Wednesdays. I'm going to try and get Brandon Mazey coming up here pretty soon. You know, the rapper Mazey. Badass dude. I've been wanting to get him on, and I want to get Brock Pappy's dad, Big Pappy. He's a pretty cool dude. We've been talking about doing this forever, but I've been dragging my feet because I have so much going on between my 3 jobs, trying to do YouTube, and yeah. But anyway, thank EBC Brakes, Complete Racing Solutions, and Epic Garage Designs. And look for a new sponsor coming this weekend. And also, if you need a house, if you're buying, renting, or selling a house in Las Vegas or Henderson, Nevada, hit up Leanne Nestor. So, all right, guys, let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your f***ing fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
All right, so I'm with Bobby Piazza, probably the most polarizing figure in the sport. I never thought you'd hear that, right, in the last couple of weeks. So what's happening, Bobby?
Not much, man. Just hanging out and getting ready to go to Denver here tomorrow.
So we're gonna take a look at your career. We're gonna look at how you got to this position and kind of some of the struggles of the privateers and things that people don't understand. Like, I think people see you guys out there. You look all cool in your gear, your bike's shiny, your pit setup looks badass, but it's a struggle, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's a struggle to get to each round every weekend. I'm already $1,200 in, and I'm not even in Denver yet.
Woo! So are you racing the privateer race?
Yes, I qualified for the race this past weekend in Nashville, so I'll be racing Friday. I actually didn't get a chance to send my bike out there because I couldn't find a way to get it back. So I posted on my Instagram, and the people came together, and I found a bike for this weekend for Friday and Saturday to race.
Nice. So you're not even racing your bike.
Yeah, I'm not racing my bike. I'm racing a 2023 Yamaha 450, which I'm stoked on, dude. I never even got to ride one yet. So I'm going to throw on my suspension, my bars, and have at it. My boy Jet, he lives in Denver, and got me hooked up for the weekend.
So quick question. Is he going to let people rev that bike, or is that out of the question these days?
No, that's out of the question these days. Actually, Pelletier and Mewey came over to me Friday at Nashville and told me maybe in the future we can work something out, but don't rev it for the rest of the season.
Okay, we'll kind of leave that alone. I don't want to get you in any more trouble, but so let's go back to way back, little tiny Bobby, and when this dream hole started. What was your first bike?
The dream started. My dad used to race back in the day. My first bike was a PW50. I don't know if I had it since I was born or whatever, but I know I've been riding since like 2 or 3 years old. So yeah, man, I started as a young buck.
Hold on. Did you ride with no training wheels at 2?
Actually, I think the first time I ever rode, I seen like a video of it. My mom was like camcording it. I was on training wheels. My dad was like pushing me around. I got whiskey wide open into the fence in the backyard.
Dude, I think we've all done that. That's literally my dad was chasing me around, and I had a little tote goat 50, and every time I'd hit a
Right.
bump, I'd shift up and go faster, and he couldn't catch me. Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
gnarly. Those beginning rides are scary, and thank God for throttle limiters, right? So,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I started on a PW 50. I started with training wheels, and then my first race was at Budds Creek actually when I think I was 4 or 5 years old. I actually got third, so that's where I started.
jeez, that's awesome, dude. And that's funny. People don't understand how it gets in your blood. Like this is what we know. This is what we've done. People look at it and they look at how dangerous it is, how much it costs. They're like, why would you do that? I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. Can you put it into words what it is?
Um, I've been doing it for I'm 27 now, so just about I've been doing it over 20 years now. So I don't know what it is. It's all I know, I guess.
It's
I
like
love it.
but
I,
it's like
I wouldn't change it.
yeah, but it becomes like an extension of our personalities. So, and I was looking at some of your results in the history. So the first year you raced Loretta Lynn's was 2007, and you
Yeah.
got 27th overall. What was that like? Was that when the serious racing began, or what prompted you guys to go to Loretta's?
Well, the year before that in '06, it was my first year qualifying for the Redders. I actually went to the area qualifier, and I think I made the last spot, which is like seventh place. And my dad and I, the regional was at Broome, Tioga in 2006. I was on like an 85, and my dad didn't even want to go, and I begged him and begged him and begged him to go to the regional. He said, "I'm not ready," and this and that. But we end up going to the regional, and I go like 4.25, and I actually end up winning the overall at the regional. But I got protested, and I guess my motor builder back in the day never told us my bike was, I guess, a big boy. It was an 86 cc instead of 85. But I got disqualified for the win and didn't end up going to Loretta's. But my bikes were pretty much junk back then. My chains and sprockets were falling off, bald tires, and this and that. Like I didn't grow up with like the best bikes, but I guess my motor builder back home, it was actually my practice bike. I guess he just boarded out and actually never told us, and I ended up racing it, got protested, and yeah, I lost the win on that. But the next year I followed up, and yeah, 27, I made it to Loretta's, and I got 27th overall.
Dang, so you've been starting controversy ever since the beginning, dude.
I guess so. I guess you could say that.
So, and then it doesn't look like you went back until 2013. And I don't know if the Racer X vault for Loretta's is wrong, which it usually is, but it shows you on a Kawasaki and Open Pro Sport, and then a Honda in 258. Was that correct, or did you?
No, that's correct.
You're riding two
um,
different brands.
two different brands. 2013 was my next time at Loretta's, which I was an A rider then. I got hurt the year before trying to go in B. 2013 I went in A, and I don't think I did too hot in the pro sport class, which was I was on a Cowie, but I was riding a Honda 250, pretty much. Sorry about that. I was riding a Honda 250, pretty much stock bike, and yeah, I forget my scores. I was like 983 or something for fifth overall. And yeah, I podiumed the last moto behind Matt Bisceglia, Shane McElrath. I was beating big names like Colt Nichols, RJ Hampshire, Thomas Covington, a bunch of dudes that are now factory starts today. And yeah, I did it on all on a stock bike that's falling apart. And yeah, man, I was young, and you know, I was going for it.
So it's crazy to me how you're in it with all these guys that are the cream of the crop in the sport right now. Where do you think it went differently for them as versus you to be on Privateer Island versus the factory guy?
Um, I mean, it's just about getting that opportunity. You know, I never got the opportunity to ride like a good bike or for a good team. My thing was I never really raced like big amateur races or nothing like that. I always kept locally, and I stuck to like the pro-ams. I think in like 2013 or right after that 2014, there was a point where I didn't lose. Like every pro-am, I won like 30 of them in a row. And I was on fire that year. And that year 2014, I was gonna go to the Redders again. I went to the regional. I was like 1-2 every moto. It was like me and Luke Renslin, and I was gonna go to the Redders in 2014 and try to win a title that year against Renslin and Hampshire. But at the regional, one of my second motos or whatever. Ended up going down at high point and dislocating my shoulder down the hill. And yeah, we couldn't get my shoulder back in. Crazy story. They're trying to get my shoulder back in for like 30 minutes. And my next moto was on the line that I went 1-2 in. And I'm just like, screw it, screw it. I'm trying to get to the Redders, this and that. They dressed me up, shoulders still popped out, throw me on the bike. The gates already dropped, they're already racing. I pin it out on the track, do one lap around the track, finish 17th. And I went 1-2, 17, 6th overall, still made it to the Redders with a blown out shoulder. I'm literally twisting the throttle, just fanning the clutch, putting around the track just to do one lap. Just to get 17th, I made Loretta's with a dislocated shoulder that year, 2014, high point.
Oh my God. Listen, okay, for people that don't know, I've dislocated my shoulder so many times, and it does weird things. Like your hand doesn't operate the way it's supposed to because the tendons are all stretched, and you had to operate a throttle, and you did a lap. And I can't even tell people, like, I don't think they can understand the pain as that muscle contracts when it's out. Bobby, you're a savage, man. A
Yeah,
savage.
I dislocated my shoulder probably 12 times, I think I counted before I got it fixed. It don't dislocate no more, but I think getting surgery, it still's not right. But
I just can't believe you did. I can't believe you did a lap and lined up. Like I don't even because I dislocated mine. I'm blown away. Like I think I got a pretty high pain tolerance, but damn, dude.
Yeah.
So and then what happened? How come you didn't go to Loretta's that year? Because the shoulder.
Yeah, I just ended up getting surgery and just didn't go. I mean, I wish I would have went anyway, but it was so bad. I'd be loading my bike into my van. Like even now, loading my bike, I get sketchy. But loading my bike in my van, it'll just pop out. I popped it out probably like 3 or 4 times just loading my bike in the van.
Dude, and then you're worried too because mine got to where my humerus bone was like a sprocket, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't go back in. So they had to actually there would be like 4 doctors pulling on it. They'd have to put me out to get it back in. Did yours ever get like that?
Yeah, I was put out a bunch of times, loaded up on whatever they put me under with. I feel like I have some crazy hospital stories too. I can go into detail, but
No.
this
We'll leave this.
this shoulder is actually blown out too. I never got it fixed. I'm actually scared to get surgery on it. I don't know if they're gonna make it worse again, but
Well, I've had
yeah.
4 surgeries on my left one, 2 on my right one. And all I'll say is the surgeries genuinely didn't help that much. If you can rehab it on your own and get it to where it won't go out, that's the best bet. Because when they go in there and cut that labrum, it gets shorter and shorter. I think eventually, like, dude, I used to be able to throw a fastball, upwards of 80 miles an hour. Dude, I can't throw a rock across my yard right now. So
Yeah,
that's crazy.
same here, dude. I gotta sleep different, everything, just because my shoulders are blown out.
Oh, dude, that struggle's real, man. I have a soft bed and I'm constantly rotating side to side. And dude, there's about 100 guys out there going, yeah, dude, I know the same thing because that's what we do. But that's what I talk about when I talk about us being a different breed. Like, what normal person does that? Like, that's not normal, dude.
No, it's not. But like I said, it's in my blood, man. I mean, I said it before, I'm almost crippled. My ankles, my knees, my shoulders, my hips, my wrists. I'm hurting, dude.
Well, dude, and you're what, 27, you said?
Yeah.
I'm 47 and I get it, dude. It catches you. Trust me, it's a different, like I just had my knee replaced last year. Motocross, I don't want to be a downer, but motocross doesn't end well for all of us physically, but mentally, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like the things I got and the things I learned in motocross have helped me in my regular life. And that's something where when you transition out, we'll have a good talk. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's different. But how many more years are you going to do this?
I'm not sure. Maybe, honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna keep going until I feel like I can't, I guess.
I like that answer. I like that answer. So
I don't that answer. So I mean, I love it, man. I wouldn't change it, like you said. And I mean, even I was riding this weekend with a broken hand, and I was just telling myself, just go have fun, just block out the pain and send it.
Jeez. Well, clearly you've proven your pain tolerance is through the roof.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I said, I've been through the ringer, dude. Like the pain don't phase me. My hand was hanging off in the hospital. They were trying to cut it off. I mean, nothing's gonna hurt worse than that. So,
oh, dude. Okay, so going back to so now you're 14, you get the surgery. Then when do you decide to turn pro? Like it looks like your first race was 2015. So the next year you rode Unadilla?
Yeah, Unadilla. I think actually no, I think Budds Creek was before Unadilla that year, and I think I tried at Budds Creek. I think it was a complete mutter, and like I had bike problems or something, and I
Okay.
didn't end up racing. And then the next weekend at Unadilla, I think I just missed qualifying, and I went to the LCQ, and I came from like eighth in the LCQ, and I ended up winning it. So I won the LCQ my first go around, and made the show in
Dude.
2015 at Unadilla.
Yeah, and you got a solid 26th, which is awesome. I mean, that's a good finish. It's such a
Yeah,
bummer they only pay 20 guys get points, but yeah.
yeah.
And then you followed that up in 2016 with Budds Creek. You qualified there.
Yeah, I think from 15, I just kept going on, and I was been privateer my whole life. So I went up to Canada a few times. Actually, my first ever pro race, I think, was in Canada in like 2014. I think I got like maybe a fourth or fifth overall up there in the 250 class.
Oh wow,
So I
that's
went to
that's.
Canada before I actually raced the States professionally. So
And when did you get the opportunity to be on the reality show?
Then we're going to do a main event, and there's going to be a winner.
It's just like a main event in Supercross. This time they're not racing the clock, they're racing their roommates.
Michael Lieb, yeah, he's fast. He can do a lap here and there. And, you know, short, I don't know what he can do in a moto. He pulled off.
Los Gatos is the steepest mountain bike hill conceived by man.
I find myself in a strangely horrible situation between two great things. My pursuit of motocross and my pursuit of academics. Putting those late hours and putting the academic side on the back burner is
that was 2017, around the end of 2017, or maybe the beginning.
And what was that team called again?
Racetrack Supercross. It was the IB Corp Yamaha.
IB Corp. Yeah. So the IB Corp. How did that come about? And you know what? Talk to me about that before it happened. How did you get into that? Because I loved you on that show. That's why I found out who you were.
Yeah, I guess everybody. I think he had to make a video or something to get into the show, and they took like, I guess everybody submitted their video, and I made a video of me just explaining my situation, riding, and that time I was lining up. I think I was racing 450 class before that all happened, and I was getting like 19th, and I was scoring a couple points and stuff in the 450 class. And yeah, I just sent in a video of me riding and explaining my situation, and yeah, I was picked, which was actually sick. They flew me out to California, I think a day or two after I was picked, and it sucked because actually the flight I took, I got super sick on, so I was super sick the whole week, which was shitty, but
Well, I
it was
remember
actually,
that. Weren't you really sick? And then Rhino made you guys do like hot yoga and just wrecked you.
yeah. It was actually pretty gnarly. Rhino's a good guy. Hey, stop it. Sorry.
No worries. And for people that don't know, Bobby cruises the country in his van with his dog and his girlfriend Morgan, it's a kick-ass story. So, and we saw, I think your dog was in the screen for a little bit there. So,
Sorry.
but okay, so you're talking about Rhino and the hot yoga
Yep.
and
Yeah, he made us like we had this hill we had to go up, this mountain actually. He had to like ride the road bike up it. It was some gnarly workouts. We got to work out at his house. The bikes were awesome, dude. The Twisted Development bikes, best bike I ever rode, honestly, to that point. But yeah, there's also some behind the scenes stuff that it's like they said it was a TV show before an actual race team, so it was kind of played out a little bit what it actually was. But
take us behind the curtain. What are some of the secrets about the reality show now that it's long gone? I mean, we've got
this long gone, I guess I could say it. I'm not trying
yeah.
to like badmouth anybody or anything, but I'll just tell the truth. Yeah, like Brad, the dude, actually hooked me up with an apartment. He bought me and Morgan an apartment out there. I started living out there. I think I lived out in California for like 8 months at that time. And after the show was over, I think Lieb won, but they still wanted to help me out a little bit. So got us an apartment, moved out there, and then I had to do the racetrack, or what's it called? The road to the red, or
The
road
futures,
to
the futures was,
yeah.
dude, that was ridiculous.
So they set me up with the bike and stuff, but actually the Brad dude was like, "Oh, you can't ride the bike until you get a job." So I was like, "All right, whatever." I got a pizza job. I started delivering pizzas, and so I got the job, started delivering pizzas and everything, and something went on. I still didn't get the bike or get the practice on it. The futures race is coming up, and I still didn't get the practice on it. I finally get like a day to go on the bike, like probably like less than a week before the race. I finally get to ride the bike, and I end up crashing first lap, doing my shoulder, and then the race is coming. So we get to the race. I think the first one was like Anaheim, one of them,
Yeah.
and yeah, just got on the bike, got the whole shot. I mean, I think I led a lap or two, and I held on for as long as I can, but they say these guys are amateurs, but I was racing against Carson Brown, Derek Drake, Mitchell Falk, and all these dudes. They're all factory KTM at the time, and these guys aren't slow guys. They're amateurs, but they still ride with all the pros and their pro speed. But I think I maybe got a few points. Not sure if I did or not. But then next weekend at Glendale, same thing. I didn't get to ride the bike. They just threw me on it, and yeah, I don't think I did too well. I'm not sure the actual results, but yeah, like I said, it was a TV show before an actual race team. I didn't get to really practice or train on the bike when all these factory dudes already riding every day, training every day, and got their shit dialed. But
Well, and for people that don't know, that was the first year they brought out the futures. So Feld put all this emphasis into getting these guys qualified. So they took dudes that normally would just get their license and they made them ride through this. Like you said, all those guys, Carson Brown, Derek Drake, guys who probably, I think Seth Hamaker was in there too. Like, dude, it was a stacked field. It was probably a lot of dudes that made the main event in Supercross probably couldn't have won that. So
yeah, and to go back to 2013 at Loretta's, I podiumed and beat all these factory dudes, and I scored my license then. I qualified for my Supercross license then, but I never I never like filed for it to get the license. So like I said, the next year I was going to try to go to the win Loretta's, but I got hurt and I didn't file for my license again. And here comes 2015. I turned pro, and boom, the 2 years is up. Now I can't get my license, and now I have to go through it all over again. So I tried to do it through the futures, and then like the rules changed every year. First it was like top 3 got points, and then the next year was top 5, and then the next year was top 10. So it took me like my first year racing Supercross was 2020 when I qualified for it back in 2013. So if I would have just started racing Supercross in 2013, I feel like I could be like a factory guy right now. But everything just prolonged. I mean, even back in like 2014, 2015, right when I missed it, I was calling Pelletier and everything, trying to get my license, and they wouldn't let me get it. I had to go through all the bullshit over again, and I kind of screwed my.
Dude, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous that a guy can qualify. You're racing nationals, and they wouldn't give you. You already had qualified to get your license, which I don't know how Loretta Lynn's should qualify for Supercross, but it did at the time, and then they wouldn't go back and just give you an exemption, which is it drives me nuts. But if it was a factory guy, I promise they would have.
I mean, I think like the Ivy Corp and Twisted Development team, they were trying to get me my license and everything, but they wouldn't do it. And at the time, like I was scoring points in the 450 class. I got a few 18s, 19s, lining up next to like Tomac and all them dudes. And like, yeah, I was scoring points, and I still couldn't get my license. I still had to go through it all, which I'm pretty sure a bunch of guys are doing that now also. Like they still got to get their points and shit. But I guess that's just the way it is,
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. But so now you're racing pro. You've done the reality show, and that gave you a nice boost, right? Social media wise, name
Yeah.
wise. Did you get anything after that, like from anyone because of your name?
No, not really. I was just still going on privateer life, and I mean, I went to Canada a few years. I scored top 5s. Beat a couple factory dudes. Never got any help up there. Really never got no help down here, like getting a ride wise. And yeah, just always been privateer. But yeah, definitely the racetrack Supercross thing definitely boosted my name up a bunch, and definitely helped me out. Everybody knew who I was, and it was definitely a sick experience. That was my first time to California, and it was badass.
So now you're an adult at this time. How do you live? Because you're not making enough money racing. Are you still delivering pizzas?
I think Morgan had a job. I had the pizza job, and then 2018 comes around. Starts at where we're at Hangtown. 2018, I quit my pizza job, and my boy from the East Coast, Chris McCuda, he's actually my sponsor now, and he's one of my best friends. But he came over with a Sprinter van, and yeah, I quit the pizza job. Morgan quit her job. Lease was up, and we went racing. Went to Hangtown and just did the whole season, the whole outdoor season. And yeah, I was on a Honda. Scored a couple points that season, I'm pretty sure, also. And yeah, man, living the dream.
Yeah, it's crazy to be top 20 or top 40 in the country, which that's amazing. And in any other sport, if you're top 40, you make a good living. But yet you barely make your entry back at MX Sports, right?
Yeah, like I'm debating if I want to race motocross because like this year coming up in a few weeks, because you only make like $600 and you're out there 2 30-minute motos plus another 30 minutes in practice and qualifying, which is like another moto. You still gotta go wide open, you know.
Well, and
It's
entry
tough.
fee's 250, so it's actually only 350 you get.
Yeah, so to drive across country and just annihilate yourself and put yourself through torture. I don't know, is it really worth it still? I'm hurting, dude. So I might just
Yeah, that's a dilemma, and that's the problem. And I don't know if you've seen if you go to my Facebook Cooksey Media, I broke down the nationals and how much money there is. And the way I figure it, about 6% of the take goes back to the riders. Every other professional sport, it's about 49%. And I think if they even gave like 40% of the take back to the riders, guys like you could race all season and make a living. I mean, you wouldn't make a great living, but you would at least be able to survive. Um, it's frustrating for me to see that. But have you looked at, is there contingency available? Is there any way? Because I mean, there's guys that have kind of worked the system and been able to make it work. Have you looked at any of that?
like Kawasaki, I think they pay good contingency, but I think for Yamaha, I'm riding Yamaha, but they only pay like main event for Supercross. So I haven't made any contingency there. I think top 20 in outdoors, they only pay like maybe $200. But
Ouch, that's
that,
brutal.
honestly, this year, if it wasn't for my bike rev and all the fans supporting me, dude, I wouldn't even be able to make it to the next round. So that's how I've been making a living, honestly, from all the fans and my bike rev. And I'm only making 1,200 a night show. So like I said, I'm already 1,200 in. I'm not even Denver right now. So it's
Well,
tough.
and like I say, you always say 1,200, but then you got to take away 250 for the entry, so you're still at 950. Unless you got someone paying it, but it doesn't make sense to me that an organization, and just don't contribute to any of this that will get you in trouble. But I'm going to go on my personal rant. This is me, not you. I think it's fucking ridiculous that they take somebody like you who's making at best 950 a round, and then you figure out a way to skirt the system and give fans an amazing experience, and they block you. I don't understand how you're paying to go to their race and then they have this kind of control over you. It's like I said in one of my last videos, it's very cult like. But the thing is, talking to you and seeing how you've raced with a dislocated shoulder and you're willing to do this, we are like cult members, man. We do some stupid stuff because we love this, but it's because we love it. But that doesn't mean we should get exploited. And so where are we at with the bike rev? If I show up in Denver, or do I get to rev your bike? Do I get to sign your bike? What are we doing to help Bobby Piazza?
Well, after I got suspended, I still went to MetLife because it's my home race. All my friends and family were already there. We already all bought tickets and stuff to go and have a good time. So I said, screw it, book my flight. I already paid for my bike to get there. So my bike was going to be there either way if I went or not. So I said, screw it, brought my ticket, showed up, just pulled up me and my dad, set up a canopy, set up my bike, and my sponsor, Justin at Camp Originals, set me up with some sweet graphics, pretty much just all white graphics. And I just let everybody sign my bike, and I put on my pit board, give him back, sign my bike for free. and I handed out I think like over 100 free T-shirts, and yeah, we had a good time. A lot of fan interaction, a lot of fan love. It was great, honestly. And then yeah, this past weekend in Nashville, I pretty much did the same thing. Let everybody sign my bike, and yeah, I went and raced with all the signatures on my bike. I actually broke my hand on Tuesday, so I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to ride. But I already told everybody back in MetLife, I'll be racing this bike next weekend with all your signatures on it. So I said, nope, suck it up. Sucked it
Dude.
up, and went for it. Actually qualified 33rd, so I actually didn't think I was even going to qualify. So I was stressing it all week, and to pull it off, it was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was watching your times. You look pretty good. You wouldn't have known you had a broken hand until I saw your Instagram post. Um, and just so people know, Bobby's not allowed to say donation. But what I'm going to tell you is if you go sign his bike, throw a donation on the ground, wherever they got to do. I don't care, but help Bobby out. Like this is, it's awesome. He's not going to say anything because he doesn't want to get in trouble. Question for you. Was John the security guard at New Jersey?
Yes, and I got a few comments on my like Instagram. There's a bunch of like hate comments and stuff, but one of the comments I replied to, I forget which one, but he was like saying it's a dick move and this and that. But at the end of the day, John walked by my pit in New Jersey, and nothing was good. And then coming out of the stadium, coming down to get back into the pits, me and John made eye contact, and yeah, he just looked the other way, and I went right through. But we did make eye contact, so I guess, and he looked the other way, so I guess it worked. I mean, any other time it would be he'd be grabbing my credential and like looking at it real close and just like that kind of interaction. But he looked the other way, and I just kept walking, and I guess it worked.
Dude, you're a beast, Bobby. That's awesome. I love that you've stood up to them, and because you did nothing wrong. You really did nothing wrong. And they never did say actually why they suspended you. They said detrimental to the sport, which can encompass anything. I had the funniest comment on mine was like, Dan, the guy from Race Day Live, is detrimental to the sport every week. Why doesn't he get suspended? I'm like, yeah, you probably could, but I like Dan, but I just thought that was funny. So
I
did
was
they
reading
ever?
in I was reading in the rule book, like if you even miss riders meeting, that's like detrimental to the sport. So a bunch of different things. I mean, I guess it was for me. I guess it was really just posting the video, but if I wouldn't have posted the video, nothing would have changed, and it'd still be the same thing. And like, I'm tired of feeling that way. I should be going to the track and like enjoying it, not being like trying to hide from this guy and just hide and just. I mean, yeah, I got to do the right thing, which I try to do the right thing every time. But I guess, like I said, it was the video, and just it was really because all the fans were there. I had like 100 people surrounding me, and the fans were just all on my side. So I felt like every time I just bow down to this dude, and I'm just like, all right, and like I guess you could say a little scared, I guess, because I'm not trying to get in trouble. But when I have 100 fans just backing me and just chanting and just saying all kinds of type of shit, I stuck up for myself, and yeah, this is what happened.
Well, and it doesn't hurt that you had DJ right there, and DJ's a lawyer grilling John with questions. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, hopefully they don't bother you anymore. Where are you at right now? Are you pulled over somewhere?
Yeah, I'm in Clearwater, Florida right now.
Oh, so you haven't, you're flying there or driving?
Yeah, I'm flying there tomorrow, probably around noon.
Okay, good. So you're riding this week, and you're riding your bike, which is a 22.
My bike's a 21. I'm riding a 23 this weekend, which I never rode before.
Yeah, and it's a big difference. So have fun, be careful, get comfortable on it. Anything you want to get off your chest or tell us anything we missed out on here?
Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of another idea for the fans and something to do.
Dude,
I mean, I
okay,
did
so
like
let me just say this, fans, if you've got an idea for Bobby, Bobby's outside the box. Bobby's taken this sport and he's doing something different with it. If you can't make money with purse, help Bobby figure out some ideas. If you've got an idea, hit you up on your Instagram, Bobby Piazza. What is it? Bobby
Yep,
Piazza?
yep, Bobby Piazza. I'm with all my signed number plates and stuff. I think I'm gonna maybe after this weekend. So next week I think I'm gonna raffle them off. So maybe put a couple days like to where Everybody like maybe $20. Every $20 entry will get a spot to win either my front number plate, shroud, my rear fender, my side number plate. And I'll probably maybe, I don't know, put a deadline on it, maybe a week from whenever I start it, and try to raise some money like that. Maybe help raise money so I can do a few outdoors. Maybe if I do any outdoors, I'd like to maybe do High Point, Red Bud's a good one, Bud's Creek. So
So I did notice in your bio, it says you're from Pennsylvania, but you said New Jersey's your home race. Are you pretty close on the border there to New Jersey, or?
yeah, I grew up in Easton, Pennsylvania. So the closest track to me is Raceway Park, Englishtown, New Jersey.
Mm.
So I live right on the river of the Jersey border, Delaware River. I can literally throw a stone in New Jersey. So pretty much New Jersey's my home spot, I'd say, and that's where I grew up riding and racing. So yeah, and just as of now, I've been living in Clearwater for like since maybe the last August.
And
So
where do you practice?
that's a good question. Actually, I don't practice, and I show up on Saturday and go racing. I mean, the facilities around here, they're like $2,000 or more a month to go to, you know. Down here, there's not really a supercross track. I mean, there's Waldo now, which is like 3 hours from me. You can go there and pay, I think, like $75 a ride, or WW Ranch is like 3.5 hours from me. You can go there and pay per day to ride. But the closest thing to me is Moto Sandbox, and that's like $1,800 a month, and you can only pay monthly. So honestly, I just show up on Saturday and show up and do my thing, you know. I try to do some training during the week, like running and stuff. But for the most part, I'm just showing up Saturday and racing. I maybe practice 7 days out of the whole season.
Oh, dude,
But,
it's hard to make increases doing that though.
yeah, it is. Like this next year coming up, like I might just do maybe a few outdoors, and I got to start like training for Supercross early. Like if I started in like September and got like 3 solid months in of getting on like a good program, I feel like I can be that main event guy, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna
But
reach out. I'm gonna reach out to the guys at Moto Sandbox for you and see if we can work something out. Maybe you can live stream from their place, promote. We've got to be able to trade it out somehow. But I got some people there that I might be able to talk to, so I'll hit them up, Bobby, and we'll get you. I'm excited to see what you could do if you had real training, real practice, and a real opportunity, and not just delivering pizzas and jumping on the bike. So yeah.
yeah, like 2021, November 21, I broke my wrist. So it's pretty just been I've been down since then. This is my first like season back since that. So just getting back into it, I feel like just trying to be safe, you know. But I think this next year I really want to crack down and make some moves, and I want to be a main event guy for sure. I know I can. I just gotta honestly, I just need the sponsors. I need a good bike and a good program set up, and I can definitely do it.
Okay, so anyone out there that wants to start a program, hit up Bobby. Best way to contact you through Instagram.
Yep, Instagram, and like I said, if you guys got any ideas or anything, I did sign my bike. I did rev my bike. What's the next one? You know?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And if you've got a product that you want to promote, here's your guy. He's a marketing genius already. Look at this. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
right.
it. Okay, all right, Bobby. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go, but thanks for letting the people know who you are, the guy behind the bike rev, the guy behind the bike send, the one little guy that stood up to Feld. I love it, dude. And everybody loves the little guy, and especially somebody who's such. When I saw that you showed up at New Jersey after being suspended and just kind of, that was a boss move, dude. Like you'd asked me about it, and I said I don't think you should because I think they'll suspend you, but you did it anyway. And dude, that took balls, man, balls.
Yeah, I'm just all about like doing the right thing, you know. Like I just wanted to be there for the people. I made some shirts that say just a picture of me riding with the American flag, checker flag type look, and under it says for the people, which I'm just trying to be for the people. I mean, I just want to do the right thing, make the fans happy, and just give back. I did it my whole life. I know the ins and outs and how tough it can be. And I mean, it's tough, dude. Like I said, I'm hurting. I put my whole life into this. I feel like I'm 50 years old, and I could imagine when I'm 50 how I'm actually gonna feel, you know. But
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, if anybody wants to support me, at Bobby Piazza on Instagram, my Venmo's in my bio. I'm just trying to make it to the next round every time. So I appreciate all the support, and yeah, man, thanks for having me on here for sure.
So yeah, go see Bobby, Morgan, the dog. The whole crew will be in Denver, right?
No, actually, Morgan's not going to be able to make it. So,
So you're flying solo.
but yeah, if you guys are in Denver, not sure how much of a pit setup I'll have, but I'll be there. So come find me and come take a picture, and yeah, let's have a good time.
Okay, you got it, brother. You have a good day, and I'll catch you later. So.
Sounds good, man. Thanks.